Yes.
My question has to do with so when we ensure every human understands the nine feelings and can ensure it and also understands the harmony at all four levels, when we reach that state, how would our society be structured? Would there be a need for borders? Like it already doesn't exist in Europe, but overall, how would our planet look as a human race? How would we be?
Yeah.
And also, is democracy okay in that system?
Yeah. So that is what we were saying, that when there is harmony in the family, which ultimately means there is feeling of love, right, that is feeling of being related to everyone, right. If that is the state where we have reached, then we will be able to feel related to everyone, from family to world family. Then we will think in terms of fulfilling relationship with everyone, right, and that will lead to a state of undivided society, right, which means there will be no other. So, there is nobody whom we qualify as the other. Like when you think in terms of nation, then you think that those who are in the nation belong to you as relative, those who are outside the nation do not belong to you, right. So, that mentality of someone belonging to you or your family and somebody outside the family, somebody in the nation outside the nation, it is this feeling which is ultimately resulting into war, right, to fights, to struggle, right, and for that you have to then define these borders, right. Okay. So, these borders are defined by the human being or by the nature? Human being, right. And these borders are defined by the human being on the basis of the feeling of this distinction between who is related to me and who is not related to me, right. But when I have this feeling of love for everyone, right, then there is no other. So, therefore, there is no boundary required in terms of this being my relative and this not being my relative or being in opposition to me, right. So, in that sense the borders will not be there, right. There may still be physical borders, like if you look at the sea divides the land, okay, that is a physical division, okay. That kind of boundary may still be there, but that boundary in the mind of the people, in the mind of the human being will not be there, right. And if that boundary is not there in the mind of the people, right, then these physical boundaries are not the problem. Okay. So, that is one thing. Second, when we talk about harmony in society, now we have been talking about harmony in family, which has to do with the relationship between one human being and another human being. When we talk about harmony in society, we will see that we need to relate not only to human being, but to every unit in nature, right, in existence, and we are in relationship. So, when we can appreciate that, right, then not only that we will take care of other human being or we will have that feeling of taking care of every human being, but we will have the feeling of taking care of every unit in nature. And if we do that, that will lead to undivided society and universal human order. So, undivided society has to do with the human being and human being. The universal human order has to do with human being with the entire nature, which includes both human being and the rest of nature, right. So, there we will see that this harmony in society will start with the family order and go right up to the world family order. So, this relationship is going from family to world family, right. The harmony in society will go from family order to world family order, which includes both relationship with human being as well as with rest of nature. So, that would be the state where we are related to every human being reflected in terms of undivided society, and we are related to every unit in nature, human being or rest of it, that leads to universal human order. So, that would be the status that we will see as when we talk about this harmony in society. Yeah. Yeah. And as far as this issue of democracy is concerned, if people have right understanding and right feeling, if they are enlightened, okay, then they can be in relationship with each other, right, and being in relationship with each other in the family is not against the relationship with the people outside the family, right, but it is once I am able to understand the relationship and fulfill relationship in family, it will expand out to realize that relationship with other families around and fulfill that relationship. That is how we will form communities. These communities will be in relationship with other communities, right, and that will ultimately go to the world community, family. Okay. So, that is how it will unfold in terms of relationship. Similarly, this is how it will unfold in terms of the order, that if I am able to ensure this my relationship with human being and with rest of nature within the family, then that is what we are calling as family order. This family order together with other families will result into a bigger family order, So, order of a group of family, and then the village order and the group of village order and so on, then the nation order and ultimately the world family order. So, it will unfold both in terms of relationship with human being and in terms of order in the with the entire nature, and it will be a natural unfolding. So, if everybody has this right understanding and right feeling, is living with definite human conduct, okay, then we can unfold starting from family to group of family to village to group of village and so on, ultimately go to the world family, and similarly we can unfold from family order to group of family order to village order and ultimately to the world family order. So, this democracy that we are calling today will be realized in the kind of correct sense. Today we have people who are sent for leadership without having all this qualification. So, they are not themselves clear what to do, right, they are not able to give a direction to the society, right. When people have this right understanding, the right feeling, the competence to produce more than what is required, these will be the people who will have the clarity about where to take to the family, to society, right, and they will be able to give the proper direction to the society, to the family, and ultimately to the world family. Right. So, we can have representation from every family, from every group of family, from every village, and this selecting this representation will not be a difficult task, because if all of us have right understanding and right feeling, okay, and if every one of us is willing to serve, right, so there is no competition in serving. The competition is there in taking out something what is available in the society, not in terms of giving. So, if everybody has has realized, then they will have the capacity to serve and they will have the willingness to serve. Right. So, you will have the right representative coming out of it without these big elections and all these things.
So, if we give offer without feeling, then again we see there is a competition. The current scenario, there are a lot of people who offer or give like monetary contribution. They compete. I am contributing this much. I am contributing this much. I think that happens.
So, there you are giving some physical facility to get some name and fame.
Yeah.
So, there also the focus is on getting, not giving. That is why there is competition. The competition is for getting the name and fame.
And also, but I was very curious, like if there is complete harmony everywhere. I mean, I understand it's a very ideal situation, but which we may or may not be able to at one point come to.
Why call it ideal? Call it right situation. Yes. When you say ideal, it sounds as if it is not possible.
Okay.
When you say right situation, it means it is very much possible, and it